As Mark Twain said, faith is believing what you know ain't so. This is Freethought Radio.
Welcome back to Freethought Radio. I'm Annie Laurie Gaylor. Today we are going to talk about Catholic abuse in Peru.
Our guest today is Paola Ugaz. She's a Peruvian investigative journalist who has written about political corruption and about the conditions of Peruvian dock workers. She hosted the popular show A Fondo on the digital channel Nativa TV. With her colleague Pedro Salinas, Ugaz began investigating alleged cases of sexual, physical, and psychological abuse of young boys committed by a group called Sodalitium. It was a Catholic society of apostolic life in Peru.
Because of her work, Ugaz has received death threats and suffered legal battles. In 2019, she was identified as the journalist facing the most lawsuits in Peru. The book she published with Salinas led the Public Ministry of Peru to open an investigation, and today she will tell us what happened. Welcome to Freethought Radio.
Thank you for the invitation.
It was nice to meet you last year in Lima, where you and Pedro and another victim of the Sodalicio told your story.
José Enriquez Cardón.
Yeah, fascinating story. And you and Pedro were instrumental in the downfall of this group. Tell us, what is this group? It's called Sodalicio. It's a Catholic order. What was it?
It's a lay pontifical association, and they have a priest and they have laicos, members of the in the organization.
Secular
so
members.
they have to follow vows of obedience, chastity, and poverty, but not necessarily they have to be priest. So the Sodalicio it's like a Peruvian Opus Dei, if you want to put a label on it. So they have a motto, no? Have soldiers, have monks, because they use the power, the physical power, to gain more influence in the society. So with that power, they will follow the religion. It's like it's like a sect, but when they talk about that, then finally you realize that they live 54 years in Peru and nothing happens to them.
So in Spanish, sect is like, in English we say cult. A cult is like a small order of religious people. And they had the blessing, the approval of the Vatican. Is that correct?
Yes. In 1997, John Paul II gives the Sodalicium the approbation, the pontifical approbation. It was the same day of the birthday of the fundador, Luis Fernando Figares, of his birthday, July 8th of 1997. Because they love this kind of groups, like Legionarios de Cristo in Mexico, no, Opus Dei in Spain, and the Sodalicio was a little group, but they fight the correct fight, because they are from the extreme right, no, and their labor was to stop the Teología de la Liberación. It was a theology of liberation.
Liberation theology, yeah.
Yes, it was born in Latin America at the end of the 60s. So the Sodalicio, born in 1971, to fight against that, to fight all the lefties, no, and then they are very young. They smoke in public. They says a lot of bad words. They are like a fresh group. They always became like the coolest of the coolest in the Catholic Church in that moment, and they went to the schools rich schools in Lima, and that's how they get a lot of people there because they want to be part of the Sodalicio.
Yeah.
They were white with blue and green eyes. No, they were handsome, and they were very, I don't know how to put it, but they have a lot of attraction.
A
It was
charisma?
a very,
Charisma.
yes, a lot of charisma,
So they were
and
going
that's
into the
why.
schools, and is that how they found the victims?
Well, no, yes, the victims, but that was after they get into the group. They went to retreats, no, and all the families once that once that their sons became sodalites,
Yeah.
because it was they feel proud that they have 1, 2, 3 sons became part of this group, because it was very, they have a lot of prestigious to become a sodalite.
So
It was
you
very
and
difficult
so then you met
to become.
Pedro Salinas, who used to be one of the Sodalites, right?
Yes.
And then the two of you worked together to do an investigation. How did that investigation start?
Yeah, and why?
Because Pedro was part of the organization 6 years, but he never noticed what happened in the inside. He was a physical and psychological abuse, but he didn't suffer sexual abuse. But in 2010, one of his best friends in the organizations looked for him and told him that he was a victim of the number 2 of the organization, Herman Doig. In that moment, Herman Doig was dead, and the Sodalicio wants that he becomes a saint. So they are looking for all the virtues as a saint, and this he was a victim of the saint of the want to be saint, and Pedro looked for me because he wants to work with a journalist who knows how to investigate, a vindictive group, and it was a really difficult investigation because they are men, they were victims, and it was really difficult that they confess or talk about something that is very uh, a thing that they feel really embarrassed,
Yeah.
because when they talk about that, one of other mottos is, if you the only thing that you can do something right is to obey.
Um,
One who obeys never gets wrong. No, so in that group they never talk with their families about what happened inside. In the south of Lima, there is a place in front of the beach called San Bartolo. It was really not that similar, but it was similar than Guantanamo. They don't have any moment that they have peace. They have to swim in the middle of the night. They have to do a lot of workout, and that's how they broke them. When they broke you, then you became a victim, a easy victim for in this part of organization. And it's not only that. We published the book in 2015, and I started to investigate their finance. So they
Their
have nice
finances.
cemeteries. Yes, follow the money. So they have nice cemeteries, they have offshores, they have schools, they have universities, they have a lot of power. And in that moment, the Sodalicio was in the 5 continents. But it
Wow.
was very low key. It's not the Opus Dei that it was like that, no, or Legionarios de Cristo, no. They was low key, but they have a lot of power, a lot of money, and in my country, if you have an average of money like $300 million, you have a lot of power. So you don't need that money that you need in the United States or in other countries, because you have money. If you have that amount of money, you have protection from the policy, from the judiciary power. So, but we discovered that when I started to investigate the money, because I can't expect all the threats against me, and when I started to follow the money, it's like to put a needle in the elephant. No, they went against me. So it was very hard. In 2018, they start against me. And that's how I started to have communication with Pope Francis. And then I have communication with, in that moment, the Bishop of Chiclayo, Robert Prevost, and he becomes Leon 14.
We are talking with Paola Ugaz, who is an award-winning journalist in Peru, who did an investigative report about a Roman Catholic cult, well-heeled lay cult that engaged in victimization and molestation of boys, among other things. And when we come back, we want to hear how you brought them down. I'm Annie Laurie Gaylor.
I'm Dan Barker. Stay tuned for more Freethought Radio.
Hi, I'm Ron Reagan, an unabashed atheist, and I'm alarmed, as you may be, by the intrusions of religion into our secular government. That's why I'm asking you to join the Freedom from Religion Foundation, the nation's largest and most effective association of atheists and agnostics working to keep state and church separate, just like our founders intended. Please join the Freedom from Religion Foundation today. Ron Reagan, lifelong atheist, not afraid of burning in hell.
Margaret Sanger's motto was, "No gods, no masters." This is Freethought Radio.
Welcome back to the final installment of this week's Freethought Radio. I'm Annie Laurie Gaylor.
And I'm Dan Barker, and we're continuing our talk with Paola Ugaz, an investigative journalist who co-wrote a book with Pedro Salinas, who was in this Catholic cult called the Sodalitium, or in Spanish, Sodalicio, which was founded by a man named Figari. And their book is called Mitad Monjes, Mitad Soldados, which is half monks and half soldiers. And that book led to an official investigation of this cult, which ended up being shut down. So Paola, tell us just briefly a little bit about Figari, who he was.
He was a lawyer who found the Sodalicio, and he was a person without any charisma, and he was very prepotent. He was very has a bad attitude in life, but he surrounded with people with a lot of charisma, like Herman Doig, Virgilio Levalle, Jaime Bertel. And he had allegations of abuse before founding the Sodalicio in 1971.
He had a history of being an abuser?
Yeah.
Yes. And he was a teacher in schools. He prepared the young boys to go to universities, and he had allegations of abuse, but nothing happened to him.
Was it founded, this Roman Catholic cult, was it founded with pedophilia in mind?
You're right about that. I think he was looking for a group to abuse of some of them, because when you talk about how he goes after the boys there, you notice a model of attitude about that. No, when we started the investigation with Pedro Salinas, we discovered that Figari, the number one of the organization, was abuse of some of members of the Sodalicio. The number two of the Sodalicio, Herman Doig, abuse of some members. The number three, Virgilio Levalle, do the same thing. So it was like one big victimary go after the other victimary, and then everybody copy that model.
Yeah,
but
he was a magnet.
Was in silence.
Yeah.
He was a magnet for
Yes.
other abusers, and
Exactly.
what?
Exactly.
So could you briefly describe what your investigation found out in terms of the numbers of abuse, what kind of abuse, and how it finally came to light?
It's like more than 1,000 members of the Sodalicio, men's, women, and they abuse, psychological abuse and physically abuse. They brainwash them. They, in other cases, they took the money from the families because they have to put all their money in the organization, and sometimes they have to put their heritage. They have a lot of they are really have all the power in them. No, one of the members, Martin Lopez de Romaña, talk about that they have a jail inside their brain, no, a jail, an invisible jail, and they have to do
A jail.
everything that they. Yes, an invisible jail in their minds. So they prepare them very like a Taliban,
Ah.
the Taliban way. They
And
have to do everything that they say,
you
everything.
you mentioned that they set up something that was like Guantanamo. They took these boys
Yes.
away from their homes and put them in this jail-like setting,
Yeah.
and their families didn't mind. I mean, it was all for religion, or
Es
how
que
did they?
they don't know what happened inside.
I see.
Because they when you see them, they are like white boys, the group. They are really handsome. They sing their songs in the church wasn't than the songs, digamos, the normal songs in the Catholic Church. They was a war songs, no, no, they want to have to take the power, but nobody notice if you don't inside the group. No, they are really they are brave. They have to no the body. Everybody talk about the power of the muscles, but it was really hard if you are inside then, because you have to swim in the middle of the night. You have to do a lot of workout. They have a lot of problems in their back right now. If you, for instance, you don't serve the dinner in the way they want to, they put in a punish. If one of the punishment was to eat for a week only water and chili, ají, chili,
Yeah.
only water and chili,
Wow.
or you put a ketchup in front of the on your milk. They are really they know how to deal with to get the power in front of the young people. And I repeat, 54 years, nothing happened to them.
Wow. So this had been going on
Nothing.
for 54 years.
Until her book came
Yes.
out, right?
So how did you got people
Yes.
to speak up? Is that how you were able to
Yes.
expose them and
Yes.
get the Catholic Church to finally disaffiliate?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, we show in the book the 30 testimonies in 2015, 30 testimonies, but in the first edition of the book, everybody was really afraid of the Sodalicio. So in the 30 testimonies, we don't have the names, the proper names. We have pseudonyms
Pseudonyms.
of 28 pseudonymous, no, because they are really afraid of the Sodalicio. No? Later, the Sodalicio started a commission to investigate after we published the book. And then, so little by little, they talking in front of cameras, they talking about what happened to them. But it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
The book takes 5 years to write, to go after one of another. They have they hack phones, they have computers. They don't have any problem to do that. It's really, really a vindictive group, and they know how to survive in 54 years, not only in Peru, in South America, they were in Chile, they were in Costa Rica, in United States.
After your book came out,
Yes.
the government investigated, and the Vatican also investigated the group. So what happened after the investigation?
During the investigation, they tried to put me and Pedro Salinas in jail.
Wow.
So Francis take a decision. I visit him in 2022. So he sent a group to investigate in Peru. And then when they come back to Rome, they talk with Robert Prevost, now Leon XIV, and he take the decision to take out the most powerful bishop of Sodalicio, José Antonio Guren. And then it was in 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
So last year was all the decision against the Sodalicio. In January 14, 2025, Francis supreme the Sodalicio, closed the Sodalicio, and when they expected that the next pope, when Francis died in April 2025, they expected a pope friendly to them. And then in May, they elect Robert Prevost,
Leo,
Leon XIV.
yeah.
This was Leo. This was
Yeah.
very bad news for them because he knew from Peru.
Yeah.
And he helped us. He was really close to us. So now they expecting that. Now they want to the church, the Catholic Church, want to have the reparations, and they asking the Sodalicion, the
About
ex-Sodalicion
time.
to.
And I'm so sorry we are
Yes.
out of time, Paula. And congratulations for
you.
wonderful work to stop this.
I'm
I'm
sorry
Annie
for my
Gaylord,
English. I'm very.
Well, thank you for being
Thank
with
you.
us today.
and I'm with Dan
Thank
Barker,
you.
and
Bye.
that's our show for today. And if you're a member of FFRF, thank you so much. And if not, join us or ask for more information at ffrf.org.